strings. In the last one, we were talking about bending strings and introducing that idea. And we started with a bend in A minor on the 3rd string at the 7th fret. Okay, nice easy target. Well, today we're going to add a couple of things to that. First of all, we're going to go to the 10th fret of the 1st string. And you notice it's the octave pitch to the last. And we're going to bend that up. Yeah, and you can hear we're aiming to get that 5th of the chord again. Nice easy target really. Now again, it's also quite dramatic to pick that string whilst you're bending it and even repeat that bend. There's another little thing which is worth bearing in mind. If you get a string, say somebody goes something like that, a lot of people misconstrue that as being a full bend twice. That sort of thing. Well, people very rarely actually do that. What they tend to do is make the first bend, and you'll notice that I haven't gone all the way back, I've just topped it up again. You hear that? Okay, so that's bending to our 5th. And again here, we talked in the last video about making sure you get your thumb over the top of the neck. Because you're pushing the strings this way, you want your thumb opposite. And as we also said in the last video, you'll see it's about turning that wrist. Okay, not doing this with your fingers. Okay, that's not going to work very well. We also talked about the concept of pushing a car. So this guy's the driver, these two are helping push. Okay, that makes life a lot easier. That's 3 fingers working on that. Now, the next bend I'm going to look at is bending to what is actually a more obvious note, the root, from the 8th fret of the 2nd string to the 10th. Now, although this is easy to hear, it's also, I suppose you could argue, very important, and so intimidates people slightly when they're trying to do this. Not least because it's such an important note to get, but also because you're going to be using 4 fingers. And again, we're back to the old chestnut of, oh, my little finger's not very strong. Well, we covered why it's perfectly manoeuvrable in a previous video, so try not to get sucked into that particular black hole. But what we have got now is we've got someone steering the car, and we've now got 3 of his mates helping. So this actually should make life easier. Yeah, hear that work? Okay, becomes very easy. Now, another little thing I was talking about before was listening to some of the great players. I never stop listening to the great players. I mean, you know, if you need to know anything about phrasing, these are the guys to listen to. And I'm going to take Carlos Santana as an example. And he's using this particular bend. He's actually doing it in a different key, but I'm going to play this in A minor. And he starts with this line. Okay, now I've played that probably more like I played. He'd play it more like this. Okay, that's more the way he tends to play. Just goes. I'll show you it in D minor. It kind of plays very slightly shy of the pitch. Okay, so different players have different ways of bending strings. If you listen to Larry Carlton, there's more those sort of sounds, and so on and so forth. Eric Clapton. They've all got their own handwriting, if you like. So when you're playing a bent string, it's not just black or white. It's all about just putting those little microtones into what you're playing. Okay, so we've got bends from our 3rd string got bend from our second string. Now again, we can bend our first string. As I was saying about Larry Carlton, he loves that sort of those sort of sounds. Okay, don't we all? Okay. There's a crucial difference though in this bend on the first string, and that is when we play these two bends, we're playing from one of our notes within the scale to a note that's within the chord. With this bend, we're doing the same thing. Okay. When we do this, we're bending to a suspension, if you like. So we need to resolve that. Okay, this bend. Okay, again bending to something in the chord. Okay, now this little bend brings us to the last subject for this particular video, and that is when we're bending here, we don't necessarily have to go up a tone. We can go up a semitone. Okay, or a half step if you prefer. The crucial difference is if we go up half a step, it becomes a passing note. It's the polar opposite of if it goes up a tone, really. Now we can sit on that all day, that's fine, it's within the chord. We'll do it the other way. The opposite. Okay, but very effective if we do this. Whatever. Okay, so that's the kind of thing Gary Moore might do with it, where you get a lot of twists and turns. But okay. Plenty of stuff there to work with, where we get this nice fluid sound into our playing. Now, there's always more you could say about a pentatonic, regardless of where that fingering is, but I think, for the moment at least, that's probably what we need to know about playing from here. And our little pontoons, as I've called them in the past, our little extension parts on the scale that we can use, bending strings, vibrato, hammers, snaps, slides, you name it. Okay, so the next thing to do is, having got yourself comfortable with that, is to think, well, what if we played this stuff with a different chord shape as our template? So that's for the next video. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, and bye for now.